Greetings nerdy list aficionados, and it's time for one that proved to be a bit more slippery than initially anticipated, because we're talking about immortality in comics. Now we're gonna have to put the salt away. The salt that says any character the writers want to imbue with plot shielding or miraculous resurrection. No, we're going to be taking a look at characters who are immortal or functionally immortal. We're also gonna kick people off who have died a lot. Looking at you, Thor. So it's been an interesting one. I'm Sasha, and these are the top 10 Avengers who can't die. I'm gonna add the caveat at the time of this recording, cause, well, you know how these things go. Okay, enough stalling, let's do this. Number 10. Vision. Obviously from the comic verse, MCU Vision died hard. Twice. Vision first debuted in the Avengers number 57 in 1968. Vision was created by Ultron using the brain patterns of the hero Wonder Man, and is first dubbed a synthezoid before he adopts the name Vision. Janet Van Dyne, aka the Wasp, calls him this upon seeing him for the first time. Now Vision has a wide array of powers, such as being able to accrue mass, manipulate density, fly, phase, which he can use to cause great pain by sticking his hand through people, which he does. Now Vision isn't immortal in your typical sense, but rather by design. His body is a casing for his consciousness, and just like Ultron, it can be shed and moved over to another, especially now that he's made up of millions of nanobots, a swarm. Vision's been out of commission before, but he never stays gone for too long. Okay, listen, so many people have died and come back, it's a staple at this point, and as you know, Kelly blames this on the death of Superman. Number 9. Gilgamesh, the Forgotten One. An Eternal, he shares the same vulnerabilities as the rest of his ilk, which render the majority of them essentially immortal. Gilgamesh debuted in Eternals 13 in 1977, so let's dive into how he can be virtually immortal, as they call it. Once reaching adulthood, Eternals stop aging. They also become immune to all known diseases. Gilgamesh also has a non-vulnerable body. Dense, protected, able to withstand bullets and falls, and even cosmic energy. Also extreme temperature, which is important. How embarrassing would it be to win an epic battle and then promptly freeze to death? What a headline. However, all of this boost of physicality is achieved through mental discipline that allows him complete mastery over his own body. And that means his concentration can be broken. Break it and he's open to being hurt or killed. So, villains, hooray, there's a chance. Number 8. Hercules. Hercules first appeared in Journey into Mystery number 1 back in 1965, and was initially set up as a rival of Thor's. Hercules is of course inspired by the figure of Grecian myth, despite the fact that they call him by his Roman name. A common occurrence, just look at Disney. I guess Heracles just doesn't focus test as well. Hercules is the strongest of the Olympians, and possesses all the abilities you would imagine that entails. Super strength, speed, reflexes, the whole 9 yards. He is also said to be immortal, though he has sacrificed his godly powers, which of course changes things. Hercules actually had a compelling discussion with Vision about the nature of immortality, and what a double-edged sword it truly is. So hey, upping Vision's immortality cred. Hercules is here and not Thor, cause well, he doesn't just die all the time. Okay, all the time is an overstatement, but for an immortal, Thor has died a fair bit. He's actually found himself in some fun Reddit threads with titles such as Immortal Until Killed. Only in comics would that title be so accurate. Number 7. Firebird. Firebird first appeared in the Incredible Hulk Volume 2 number 265 in 1981. Born Benita Juarez, as a child she came into contact with a radioactive meteor fragment, which we all know in comics only means powers, and oh what powers. This radiation caused her to be able to generate heat, flames, and fly. Believing her powers to be divine, she named herself after a mythical bird. Now Thor firmly believes that Firebird is immortal. She is immune to radiation and poisons, as well as demonic possession, always a concern. She can also survive in space, and can deflect most physical attacks with her own pyrokinesis. So why does Thor think she's immortal? Well, because she has survived 2 specific attacks that only he could have survived. Although I mean, how good is his cred? He died. Now, getting out of questionable territory and onto firm ground, here come the true immortals. Number 6. Ex Nihilo. This character is very recent, debuting in 2012. Yes, that's recent. In Avengers Volume 5 number 1. Ex Nihilo is a gardener, which is a robotic species created by the Builders. As a result, he has the ability to create and modify existing life, all the way up to a planetary scale. His focus, obviously, organic life. He is a gardener. He was only taken out after the entire Marvel Universe collapsed. So yeah, it takes an event of that scale. You're immortal then. Other so-called immortals are getting knocked over by non-universe ending events. Not ex nihilo. Number 5. Captain Universe, with the caveat when it's possessing a member of the Avengers. So Captain Universe is actually what the person is called when they are possessed by the Uni-Power, which is an extra-dimensional force that renders the host cosmic. As Captain Universe, the person is still them, just imbued with the power and also a universe-themed costume that goes over their own. This power comes from the Enigma Force, and no one's quite sure about it really, but they speculate it comes from the Microverse. This power can and has attached itself to anyone, from normal people to those who are already well endowed with power, like Doctor Strange. While possessing the power cosmic, the bearer is, well, they're pretty much invulnerable. Side note, how good is that what if where Peter gets to keep the Captain Universe powers? He's essentially Dr. Manhattan. So the Uniforce. Your costume is far too optimistic, but the phenomenal cosmic power more than makes up for it. Number 4. The Hulk. Now for years it was a question, is the Hulk immortal? What's the scoop? Well, thanks to the immortal Hulk, we can finally say yes. Yes he is, and it's horrifying. Especially since it's the Hulk that's immortal, not Bruce Banner. So yeah, this concept has been played with before in the story Hulk the End, released in 2002, wherein the Hulk literally finds himself to be the last person on Earth, even outliving Banner. This leaves the Hulk to bitterly lament that he truly is the strongest there is, cause he is the only one there is. Depressing. Immortal Hulk gets pretty dark too, especially as every time the Hulk returns he resurrects Banner, who dies at the end each time. Just yikes. This is not fun immortality. This is gamma radiation gone wrong immortality. It's really depressing to think that the Hulk is just doomed to suffer forever. Number 3. Wonder Man. Wonder Man is not on enough of our lists. He used to be so pivotal and now you'll find people who are like, who's Wonder Man? He first appeared in the Avengers number 9 back in 1964, and we can finally firmly say yes, he is immortal. Although he didn't know this right away, he only learned this when he traveled to Hades and was fighting some heavy hitters down there like Mr. I Want Your Mare's Mephisto and the Grim Reaper. His immortality is thought to be present because of the ionic treatments that granted him his powers in the first place. Actually, he got his powers because of Baron Zemo. His immortality is actually pretty funny because initially it looked as though he had died in his first appearance all the way back in issue number 9, and he actually didn't reappear until 1972. But he wasn't properly revived until Kang the Conqueror got him a new body in 1975. So he came into his immortality late, as it were. Number 2. The Sentry. Robert Reynolds. One of the Marvel Universe's most successful retcons. Robert Reynolds, as Sentry, first appeared in the year 2000 in Sentry number 2. His story began when the average or rather mundane man, Bob Reynolds, woke to remember he was a superhero with the power of 1 million exploding suns. But not only had he not remembered this until that very moment, but no one else did either. It turns out this is because he is also host to a powerful entity known as the Void that needs to be kept suppressed at all costs. Reynolds' story is actually a depressing one. At times he wants to die but can't. He's too immortal. His power is too vast. He jumpstarts himself every time. The power of all those exploding suns. He's also able to kill most characters just with one blow as Void. Void is the dark side of his powers. Part of his immortality is that his molecules exist ahead of the current timeline, so he exists in the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. Too much power. Too much. Number 1. Mr. Immortal. It's right there in the name, and it's true. No false advertising here. Mr. Immortal, aka Craig Hollis, first debuted in West Coast Avengers Volume 2 number 46 in 1989. So again, the how of Craig's immortality is not a happy one. He has been watched over since infancy by the entity Death Urge, because of a dying last wish of Craig's mother's. However, Death Urge proved to be a negative influence on his life. I mean, go figure with a name like that. And he even encouraged him to do bad things. However, it was after the suicide of Craig's girlfriend and Death Urge's refusal to take him too that Craig learned he couldn't die, after numerous unsuccessful suicide attempts. Eventually, Craig decided to put his powers to use as a hero, even adopting a bit of a catchphrase, "Dying is what I do best," which sounds good but is actually a lie. Dying is what he does worst. He does appear to die if his injuries are bad enough, but that's just an appearance. He usually comes back to life in at the longest 10 minutes. It's also involuntary, so no mental control necessary. He's not as powerful as most of the people on this list, but he has the most genuine claim to immortality. Simple, straightforward, in the name, and true. So those were 10 immortal or mostly immortal Avengers. Whose immortality story do you enjoy the most? I actually really like Sentry. Let me know your thoughts down below, and you know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe for more nerdy lists, and we will see you all again soon here on Top 10 Nerd. Bye bye!